Table Talk, yeah.
Welcome to Blind Table Talk, y'all. This is our BVI podcast seat.
Yes,
And
indeed. Welcome, y'all.
yes, we actually have a very, very interesting fellow podcaster on with us. And we're going to introduce to y'all Mr. Shawn Keen. Welcome, Shawn.
Welcome, Shawn. Welcome to the table, my man.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. We're glad to have you here. We appreciate it. And before we could jump into it and learn about the podcast, let's tell our listeners a brief some information about who is Shawn Keen.
Okay, yeah. So I'm a blind guy. I was born with glaucoma in the 70s, and I'm about 50 years old now. And my favorite question is when people ask me if you've been blind all your life, and I can still say not yet.
I likes that.
That's a good one. Use that
Yes.
one. That was. But I grew up blind, more or less. I mean, I had a little bit of vision growing up, but I've always been a Braille and computer user, and luckily I kind of found my calling when I was like 10 years old, but I didn't know it at the time, and that was technology, and that's just kind of the one thing that's always followed me throughout my life, and I've worked as an assistive technology trainer, and I've kind of been in the blindness technology field for the past 20 years, and more or less about 2 years ago, the AI stuff took off, and I got involved in that. And it was really just a hobby, just to learn how this new technology worked. And that actually evolved into getting a job. And recently, I just finished about a 10-month run with Envision Technologies, selling the Envision glasses around the United States. And I run a Facebook group and a podcast, and it's all connected to AI, and it's just a whole lot of fun. I mean,
I bet. That sounds interesting. And I have so many questions, but I'm going to keep them in and go with the order that they're supposed to. So
yes, indeed.
my first question is, I just want to know so much. Please tell us about AI for the Blind. Not only is it a podcast, but it's a whole
Facebook group, y'all. It's a whole thing.
It's a community.
Doing big things for real, man.
Yeah. So tell us about that. Like, what is AI for the Blind?
So really, I started the podcast first, and this was in the end of around 2023. This is like May of 2023. Okay. So I didn't even know what I was doing. I had a friend, funny enough, from Houston. His name's Will Walsh, and Will has always been a friend of mine. And I just called him up one day and said, "Hey, man, I'm going to do this podcast. You want to help me do it?" And so we didn't even know what we were doing. So. Fast forward to now or whenever, and that podcast has over 13,000 listens, and the Facebook group, both the Facebook group and the podcast are called AI for the Blind, and the group was kind of is a community. It's a sense to get people together that to learn how to use AI, essentially, because artificial intelligence, I mean, it's basically a really smart computer, but if you learn how to communicate with it, you can just get so much better content, and so you can just do a whole lot more. And so that was my idea, is just to have something, start a community, and build it, and let's see if people show up. And now we're 7,500 strong and growing. The podcast is nearing 14,000 listens, and I'm just I'm amazed. I'm amazed. I get people all the time like, "How did you do this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just did."
You just did it, right? And sometimes it just takes off on its own.
Like you said, you found your calling again, my man, and it was meant to be. Bless you.
Yeah.
So the podcast. So what is it? What's the content? What do you your listeners get to hear when they push play on that?
Yeah, when we click on the AI for the Blind, what do we get?
It's and really, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there. There's about 200 episodes, And there's some interviews with some industry leaders from the tech field. A good friend of mine named Jeff Bazer, he works for Vispero. We interviewed him in like June of 2023, and a number of other people. But then it kind of evolved more into the AI stuff, and I literally will make these little 10-minute or less skits on something to do with or something regarding how to use AI. Sometime it can be just inspirational. I'll post some of my AI music on there. I'll post some fun stuff, some skits, some promos, and it's, I mean, it's the idea is two things: to teach people about AI and how to use it in short form, because nobody wants to listen to an hour anymore.
Right. Yeah.
It's really hard to get people to listen to an hour, but you can get people to listen to 5 minutes. TikTok showed us that.
Yeah, easily. And you see how people are acting about TikTok. So
and they're right. I mean, and it's not just sighted people. I mean, blind people want short stuff too. So that's that's kind of what I'm trying to gear towards, is people that don't have a lot of time, that just, hey, I want to learn how this works, right here, right now, not
especially
3
when
hours
it comes to learning. I want to learn, but I don't want to sit and take an hour to learn what you could probably condense into 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Well, you just hit on something that is kind of key here, because I mean, that's just the thing, is people don't want to sit around and listen for a long time. And the other thing people like is to have fun when they're learning, is to, educational. There's a book series, I think it's called Historical Fiction. And so basically it's a book where there's history involved, but there's a fictional story line that, keeps it interesting.
Right.
And that's kind of an idea I've been playing with. And I've actually, some of the AI music I make is that very thing, where the song teaches you how to prompt or how to use AI. And so you enjoy it because it's something fun. It's music you enjoy, but you're actually learning too.
Right. And you brought up something, because I follow you. I'm in your Facebook group.
Me as well.
So I do follow you. I see a lot. And you brought up the music with the AI, and I know, but can you explain a little bit what that is about? I see a lot of people doing songs, and I'm like, this is taking off, but what is that?
It is the most fun you can have, and you can be as low key or just high profile with this as you want. So AI music is just that. Except it's a little bit different. It's not like you're going to sit down and write your own music or write your own song or something like that. AI music is where you go to the computer with an idea and y'all work on it together, and then a song comes out of it. And I knew when this came along that people would really take to this, because people really took to making images with AI.
Right.
And I thought for sure if they liked making images, they're really going to like making music.
Right on.
Yeah. I'm
That's
just
all
wondering, is it me going to the computer, like telling it some words that I want in a song, or telling it an idea of a song that I want, and then it just does it for me, kind of?
Well, the app I use is called Suno. It's SUNOAI. And if you go check out my podcast, you can hear a lot of episodes on how to use it and examples of it. But it is just text. Basically, you're taking words and turning that into music. And the way it works, and it's pretty wild, but you can do it in two ways. You can either take some lyrics that you have and submit it into the AI, and then tell it, I want this in soul, or I want this in pop, or whatever style you want,
the genre,
and it creates it, and you don't have any idea what it's going to sound like until it's done and you hit play. And that's kind of the fun of it. Like, whenever I make a song, I don't have any idea how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, that does sound so
That's
fun.
neat. Yes.
And it's easy to use for us. I get so frustrated sometimes with these apps and voiceover.
The accessibility of
fully
it.
accessible?
No, it's not. It's usable, but it's not accessible.
That's good.
It's usable but not accessible, and there's more than one. There's
Yeah.
another one called Music AI, and I pretty much say, if you listen to my stuff, no matter which app or product you're using, it's still going to work the same. It's still going to be helpful to learn how
Right.
to do it right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So another thing, this is my own personal thing since I got you here at the table. AI on these phones. So, you have these iPhone 16s that are supposedly AI compatible. Is that so? I know it's Apple Intelligence, and then there's the other AI that's not Apple. Are those one and the same? And is that kind of the similar line of AI that you work with and that you know of?
So let me kind of differentiate a little bit here. So
Thank you.
there's an AI model,
Mhm.
and an AI model is just kind of like a code word for a really super large computer system. And when I say large, we're talking about probably like a Walmart full of computers. I mean, just
Okay.
Mm.
massive amounts of data and processing power.
Hmm.
And so, like an image, a computer vision model runs usually, they're trained on something like 14 billion images. And
Mm.
yeah, that's a
Mhm.
lot. That's a
Yeah,
lot of
Yeah.
data.
they can
Yeah.
And
create a lot with that. Okay.
and so with the AI, so first you have the AI model, and that's, think of that as the computer. And then you
Mhm.
have different AI models because Google has one, and
Hmm.
Mm.
Microsoft
Microsoft,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
Apple, and they all have different ones. They all kind of act the same, but they all are
Right.
different.
Is that also Chat GPT? Is that
Yes,
is
so
considered an
so
AI
Chat
model? Okay.
GPT, Gemini,
Yeah.
Bing,
I use
um,
Gemini.
Llama, Meta, all the different ones. They
But they
they
all do the
all
same thing pretty much, right?
virtually, and
Mhm.
Apple, it's kind of funny because Apple is usually on the forefront of this kind of stuff, and
Mhm.
they're kind of playing catch up. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
Yeah.
they've released a lot of stuff, and it's okay, but it's not like what you would expect from Apple.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and and Google, on the other hand, and I don't have an Android phone or any of that. I mean,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
okay, I'll stop while I'm ahead.
Good,
But
good. We'll let you stay at the table then, since you do not
You
have a
good. You
Google phone.
good.
but
You still
You can
good.
stay here.
well, Google's got something. They got something really cool. That, I mean, I'd almost go buy an Android phone just for this one feature.
Hmm.
But they have a new phone that came out, a new Pixel phone that has an AI model built into the phone. And
Mm.
what you can do with that, I mean, because then you have that processing power right there on the device. Now it's miniaturized and it's a lot smaller, but it's essentially the same thing.
Hmm.
Um, so one of the examples was with this phone, and this is a demo I heard, was that you could call somebody in Japan, and by the time their voice hit your ear, it'd be in English.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
So
You
that's
just
like
made me
impactful.
look around the room like, wait,
instant translation.
on
Instant
man.
translation, all these things like instant image descriptions and things like that, those
Kind
are
of
coming.
creepy though, a little bit. Oh my gosh, that's scary. Like the
Yeah,
things the things that
it
can do.
almost
I'm
gonna
like,
make
ooh.
us independent on these tools, but we need these creations as well, though. So it's like, oh my goodness.
Well, we need to also learn how. I can tell you right now because I had just got a iPhone 15, and then the 16 came out a month later, but they were like, oh, this one has AI. So I just was like, oh, I have to have that one. So I went and got an AI 16 or
Yeah.
Apple 16, but I don't even use the AI. I don't see a difference. I don't, maybe. And so I think we need to learn how to use these things and not just get them and just let them sit around, because I have the 16. I don't even know how to use the AI features or functions of it. It's all Siri to me. So I think those tutorials, anything that can
Hmm.
help us. That's why I think your podcast is great, especially those short videos, that those
Yes.
clips that can help us learn about different things. I'm definitely going to check out the music too, because
The
but
whole 9 yards. I mean,
yeah.
would you say, Sean, that AI is essentially supposed to be used as a tool?
Of course. Yeah, it's a tool. I use it every day. I use it for all my writing. I use it for 99% of everything I do. I mean, the podcast episodes you go listen to on my show are basically me and ChatGPT and Notepad. I
Yeah.
mean, that's how I
Yeah.
put these things together. I write everything out, and then I go to 11 Labs, which is AI text to speech voices, and I'll record the voice parts, and then I'll go make the music, and I can put this
Put it all
together in like an
together.
hour.
Now you do this, okay, just to clarify. So are you totally blind? You're total?
Yes, I'm totally blind. I'm totally out of sight.
There
I
we
am.
go. There we
Yeah.
go. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, for our listeners, it's possible, baby. You see this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
'cause
is.
I'm
It
like,
is totally
yeah.
possible.
Yeah. No, I definitely think, I mean, you have given me some, just listening to this, just you talk about it and the things, I think it's definitely worth getting into because, I mean, AI is taking over. It's just, that's the way it is. It's taking over and we
I think it's as
probably got to get with it.
Yeah, I think it's as impactful as Braille is to blind people. I think
I agree.
just
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much opportunity in this. I mean, I can go get
Yeah.
on Google Live right now and edit a video if I wanted to and get speech output. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
powerful.
Yeah,
No,
that's incredible. That is, man.
that
Wow.
definitely is. And then also too, Shawn, I don't know, and I think I've seen you comment about this though. I actually have a pair of Meta glasses, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to use the AI features on that, but it's probably not as good as it is going to be, I'm sure. But that is also the same AI stuff, right? The Meta glasses, that's the same. Is that along the same lines, or is that something totally different?
No, I just put mine on. In fact, my Meta glasses, they are I mean, they're really comfortable. I've been wearing them all day, and they're
Yeah.
really useful. Um,
Yeah.
I just found out. I mean, we were in the car coming home, and I was sitting along. I was riding along in the car, and I just thought of something. So I asked, "Hey, META,
Mhm.
what street are we on?" And it told
Did
me.
it tell you?
Yeah, so you
Nice.
can do that. You can be riding along and say, what street am I on right now?"
And I think
Wow.
that's my problem too, though, is that I don't know all of the things that you can and cannot
The
ask. But
capabilities, yeah.
yes,
Well,
exactly.
then
And so,
here's a tip. Next time you got your glasses on and you're not doing anything, ask them for a detailed list of what you can ask it.
really, and
Yeah.
it'll tell me a
There
list.
we go.
Yep.
See,
Awesome.
it's so many things out here that's making our community functions, just daily functions, a lot more
So
easier.
much
It takes the
easier.
tension out there. You don't have to be
Yeah.
stressed, it's possible. We don't have to get down on ourselves now with, like you said, the AI is just such an impact like the Braille is, and just need to be used and such.
So one thing I've noticed from some of my sighted friends, I have a really good friend who's the computer science professor at Vanderbilt. His name's Dr. Jules White. And when we first started talking last year, he was telling me about going to the bar with some of his buddies, and he had a lawyer friend that was saying, I don't know what you would use this thing for. Like, I can't think of an idea or something
Mhm.
creative. He's like, so I pulled out my phone and took a picture of the table and said, "Who needs a refill?"
Yeah.
And it will do that. I mean, you can do that with Be My Eyes. You can take
And
a
it'll say
picture
whose
of
drinks are empty.
it will tell you what bottles are empty or half empty, or
Wow.
get a couple of water bottles and put them on your desk and take a picture with your phone, maybe with Be My Eyes, and ask
Yeah.
it to tell you how much water is in the bottles. You'll be
Wow.
shocked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Take a
wow.
picture of your pantry and ask where the corn is.
Yeah. And it'll find it and
Yep.
tell you.
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
Well,
See
yes.
y'all. It's tools out here, man. It's tools out
Yes.
here, man. We just
Yeah.
gotta go get them, man. For real.
Yes. So, well, Shawn, I am just thrilled that you have come to the table and shared your podcast with us. I think that our listeners are just going to enjoy the
Yes.
tips and info that you have to share, especially, you know what, too, even those that are kind of on the fence with
Sure.
AI, right?
Yeah.
Because there's some
Yeah.
people that are. and
Yeah.
not know how much.
Or they feel they
it can
might
help
not
you.
be tech savvy or so. It's
Yes,
you know,
that's it.
it's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's like it's still ways. And for our listeners, Sean, so where would they go to locate your episodes? Where can they go?
So if you listen to podcasts right now, just search for AI for the Blind. And if you're on Facebook, search for the group AI for the Blind and come join us. It doesn't matter if you hate AI or you don't know anything about it or don't know how to use it, or just come join us and if anything, just read, because you'll see people posting the songs they've made and the
Yeah.
pictures they've made and all
Yeah,
this
I do that
stuff.
all the time. Just
And
Yeah.
read through.
it's meant to encourage people. It's meant to
Mhm.
get people to think, oh man, I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Right on, right on.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Shawn. We appreciate your time and we look forward to more podcasts from you and also in the group, because I do what you just said. I go in the group and just scroll through all the posts and I learn so much stuff
Me as
that
well.
I read it and I'm just like, huh, I didn't know you could do that. Huh.
I used to love laughing at them images when that first was going. I was like, wow, these
Oh, I
people are
know.
putting up some images about themselves,
Yes.
yo. It was fun. It was
Oh,
fun. So
It
wait.
yeah.
is.
Shawn, wait, before you go, because
Sure.
I do need to ask this question. Which is, in your opinion, the best image describer, the one that gives the best description for images and pictures? Because I have tried some that will just say, oh, there's a lady standing there. And then I have had some that will give, there's a piece of cotton on the floor in the back, all of that stuff. So which do you prefer? Which is your best one to describe images to you?
Well, here's a good here's a good line, that will get everybody going, is the absolute best image descriptions out there come from Be My Eyes. The Be My AI is just, I
Yes.
mean, those guys do it right. And
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, I use Ira as well. And what
Mhm.
I like about Ira is their verify service, where if I make an image, I can
Mhm.
go have AI describe it to me, and then I can hit the Ira verify button, and it sends that image to a human to
To
just verify that
confirm. Oh,
that everything's
yeah.
correct. And that's great for making images,
That
because
Yeah.
is.
the one thing
Mhm.
you don't want to do is go post an image that you think is one thing and to
And it's
find out
not
it's
really.
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's so
embarrassing.
true. Yeah,
For
that
sure.
is so
For
true.
sure.
Okay, so my picture, then I kind of like share it or upload it to the Be My Eyes, the
That's and
description one.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things about Be My Eyes is I can go to the share sheet on my iPhone
Yeah,
and
and it
share a
pops up.
picture to Be My Eyes, and
Mm-hmm.
and it goes into the app and starts describing it.
Yes,
And then when
yes.
you're done, you can just hit cancel and you're right back to that share sheet.
Yes, exactly. So, all
Nice.
right. Well, that is our tip for our listeners. If you haven't learned anything, at least you learned
Hey,
which gives the best audio description for
go
your
check out
pictures.
my man's AI for
Yes,
the blind. You know what I'm saying? It's
yes.
good information, good content. It's fun, y'all. Big Texas salute to you, my guy. We really
Thank you,
appreciate
man.
you.
Thank you,
I'll have to
Shawn.
go email you one of my songs.
Oh,
Yes, please
most definitely,
do.
please do. We look forward to it.
Or even better, Shawn, why don't you do a song for Blind Table Talk for us?
All right,
And
I'll do it.
yeah, awesome.
I'll go do it right now, and I'll email it to you within probably
Awesome.
within 10 minutes.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Shawn.
Appreciate
All
it,
right.
my man.
Thanks,
I
y'all.
Be
appreciate you.
blessed.
Thank you.
Bye.
Blind table talk, yeah.